You're going to be stepping out in a bigger, better, brighter way this month, Virgo. That's what Spirit dropped in to tell me when I tuned into your energy. And some people are going to have opinions about that. Some are going to love it, obviously. And others are going to be like, oh, who do you think you are? Oh, high and mighty, big for your britches, blah, 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 blah. Other people's projections, fears, their own blockages are no concern of yours. I need you to remember that old metaphor about the crabs in the bucket. And if one of us starts to look like we're about to crawl out and make it over the lip of that bucket, it is in the nature of those who don't feel like they have the ability to do it to pull us back down. Do not allow that to happen this month, Virgo. And I'm hearing something that echoes what Spirit brought up last month, which is get rid of any false or reflexive modesty and humility. You have plenty. You're not going to go out of bounds. You're not going to go nuts. So please work on dismantling that. Spirit is what the vision that they are showing me is like a person who is stepping out in like new clothes. And maybe these new clothes are like, oh, this is my real style, or this is what feels like my true self. And you know, other people might look and be like, oh my God, like you really think you can pull that off? Or, oh, who do you think you are wearing that? Or something that Spirit is reminding me of is there was a philosopher, an ancient Greek philosopher named Seneca the Younger, who used to get dressed in funny clothes on purpose and go out into the town square so that people would mock, point, laugh. And it was his way of inoculating himself from having the silly, stupid kind of shame, like, oh, they don't like my clothes. Oh, they think I look dumb. He wanted to be able to stand up when something was wrong in the room and go, hey, that's fucked up, or whatever, and not have that inherent, like, ooh, I don't want to put anybody off. I would hate it if anybody looked at me funny or laughed at me or thought I was silly or dumb or whatever. You know what I'm talking about, Virgo? Also, hi. I'm Madeline. If you haven't been here before, Virgo, we are actually going to pull cards, but Spirit usually comes charging in with a channeled message right when I tune into your energy. So here we are. So now let's pull those cards. We're going to get into the story of your month, the guidance Spirit has for you, and we want to see how you are showing up as the protagonist of your own story this month, what kind of vibe you're bringing, and what aspect of yourself Spirit most wants you to be able to tap into for your highest good. So let's get into it, Spirit, for my Virgo people. Virgo sun, Virgo moon, Virgo rising. Yeah, Spirit is talking about a great leap. Like an evolutionary great leap, there's a great leap that you may be taking this month. I haven't seen any of your cards. Spirit is just still talking. This great leap, and it's like going over the lip of that bucket. Some people won't understand. And, you know, something that Spirit is saying now is, you know, not every crab that pulls the other crab back into the bucket is doing it because they don't want the other person to have success. It's like, oh, I don't know what'll happen to you out there. At least in here, you know, we're all okay and we know what's happening and we're right here. You know what I'm talking about? So some people, their urge to pull you back or down or to gently, quote unquote, like mock or make passive aggressive reference to what you're doing as not that great or kind of weird or whatever. Some of them are not doing that because they're malevolent or mean or they hate you or they don't want to see you succeed. Some of them are doing it because, again, they have their own insecurities, fears, projections, and for your own good, they're putting those on you. Pardon me. But it's not for your own good. So please recognize what is yours and what is other people's. That's something that they're saying, okay? Like as in, oh, is this voice of hesitation or reflexive modesty or whatever in me, is that my voice or is that like my mother's voice or my father's voice? You know what I'm talking about? Okay. Let's get into these cards. Spirit, just a couple more, please, for Virgo people in the month of June. I want to know your guidance for them, what you see for them, what dynamics they're working with, and how they are showing up in those dynamics. Spirit, what do they need to know for their highest good in the month of June? Spirit is also mentioning Gemini season for those of you who are Virgo rising. That is, the sun is in your 10th house, the house of career, destiny, public reputation, doing big things is what Spirit is saying. So again, whether you're a Virgo rising or even a Virgo sun, this house is still highlighted because it's getting lit up. It's getting lit up in Gemini. So a big leap. Who do you want to be? Don't worry about the crabs in a bucket. And if they don't understand, your thing may be a thing that nobody's ever seen before or heard of before, but you really want to do it. Trust yourself. All right. Thank you, Spirit. What do you see for our Virgo friends? There it is. Come on. Come on. It's okay to be afraid. That's something else that's really important for you to hear. Fear is allowed to be in the room. Anxiety is allowed to be present. You don't need to get rid of your anxiety. You don't need to get rid of your fear in order to move forward. Now, fear will dissipate as you move with it, because it will learn that it can't freeze you. And so slowly, just by nature of, Spirit is saying it's like warming up cold muscles. Like just by the fact of you warming up and getting into showing up more, or being openly proud of your skills and no longer diminishing them or hiding them away. It thaws things out. It moves things. Sitting in the past. 9 of Pentacles is your point of reference. So here's you, Virgo, full of skill. Financial and personal fulfillment. If you have any wonder and question about whether you have what it takes, or whether you have the resources necessary, or whether you've done a good job already and built a lot up already, you have. So no wonder Spirit is saying you're on the edge of this great leap. 9 is right on the verge of the 10, right? And it's no accident that your present card, the Wheel of Fortune, is number 10 in the Major Arcana. And all the lower 10s, right? 10 of Cups, 10 of Swords, 10 of Wands, etc. All the 10s are related to the Wheel of Fortune. Completion and the beginning of a new cycle. 0 and 1, right? You are on the verge of this great leap. And then here's the Wheel of Fortune. I love the way that Spirit comes through. You are on the verge of this great leap, and wheels on the bus go round and round. So that means up and down. You know the song. So it's okay when you're down. It's okay. It's okay. It's part of the arc. It's part of the cycle. Don't reject the down. In fact, don't reject anything. All of it is data. All of it is available for you to be able to synthesize and understand, sometimes in a new way. And that's what they're saying. So some old fears or old challengers or challenges can come up, and you may find like, wow, I handled that so magnificently, when a couple of years ago that would have been a completely different story, or was a completely different story. You've put in the work. I want to say congratulations. That's what I'm hearing. It's like, congratulations. You've put in the work. It doesn't matter if everybody else can see it or not. It looks to me like soon everybody else will be able to see more of it. But whether they know it or not, do you know it? Because that has to come first. Okay? If the other comes first, that's going to be some weird, wacky energy. Okay? It's just what I'm hearing. You have places you want to go. You have things you want to do. I mean, hello, let's just jump right there. Your protagonist card. It's your persona card, but it's also your protagonist card. The Knight of Wands. Great leaps. Great leaps. Passionate leaps. Brave. Being courageous. Allowing your fire, your heart, your spirit, what lights you up, to guide you past and through the scary parts. The Moon. It's okay, because you have a torch. You're the Knight of Wands. You are the Knight of Fire. Knights are in transition. They are not where they started, and they're not where they're going to end up yet. They are on their way. They're making their great leap. They're riding the Wheel of Fortune. The Moon sits in the energy around and available to you, the climate. Things are shifting, and that is a good thing. Reality is a lot more malleable than we think it is, and it has a lot more in common with dreams than we often think it does. And this is something Spirit is really hammering home. Pay attention to your dreams this month, Virgo. That's always good advice, but in particular for you this month, it's like, what themes are showing up? Are there certain people, or are there certain settings, or are there certain even stress or anxiety dreams that are popping up? You want to notice and take note of what kind of themes or vibes are showing up over and over. Look at how that mirror of your dream life compares to your waking life. What do you notice? Spirit is saying that, how do I say this? They're like, you're going to face some fears this month, but it's not a negative thing. Again, it's so that you can face them in a different way. You're standing in a different place. You are a different person. Spirit is saying a lot of you have more spine, have more backbone, have more firmness than you've ever had up until this point. And so you can stand with pride on what you're good at or what you know to be true or whatever. You know what I'm talking about? Now you have a choice. You have a choice coming up, and this is why Spirit is talking about you facing your fears and this being a positive thing. Do you want to go over the lip? Or, no blame, no shame, no judgment, are you more comfortable to stay in the bucket in June? It's okay. Literally. It really fucking is. Spirit doesn't mind. Like, nobody here minds. No blame, no shame, no judgment. We don't do that here. Do you mind? What do you want? It's okay to be in the bucket because sometimes we don't have either the strength or the courage or the time or the whatever, even the desire to get out of the bucket. But if we have the desire and we immobilize ourselves anyway, that's that stuff that Spirit's talking about with like accepting what other people are thinking or saying or projecting, or that we are just fearing that they will say, and that we are projecting that we're too big for our britches and we think we're so great. If you want out of the bucket is available. It does involve facing your fears. Nine of Swords sits in the greatest hopes and fears section of your reading. And I love this deck in general. I love this version of the Nine of Swords in particular. It shows the swords are circular, right? They are curved. Our thoughts get into, we spiral, right? We fucking spiral. And if you look closer at the details of this card, look at the feet of this person. You can see that out of their notice, because their head is in their hands, there is a trap door, there is a lock, and on their other side there is a key. So the lock and the key are available to you this month. And that's a good thing, because we can't always find locks. You know what I mean? We don't always even know when we're trapped somewhere. But this month you can find the locks and you can fucking unlock them. Six of Swords in the key/conclusion position, setting yourself free, moving on, clarity, understanding, wrapping something up. I was going to say 10 of Fortune. Well, Wheel of Fortune, number 10, completion and new beginning, moving on, clearing the way, making things make sense. Two of Wands sits in your future. What do you want? Over the lip or back in the bucket? Again, no blame, no shame, no judgment. Which one feels good to you? Now, how do you get there? Six of Cups. Reconnect with your inner child. Reconnect with the parts of you that used to just be excited about stuff before they worried about whether they were good at it. You know, the part of you that loved to finger paint or write stories or dance or whatever, and wasn't even aware of being perceived. It was just like, this is just what I want. I just want to sing right now, or I just want to dance for my parents and their friends, or whatever it is. Can you reconnect with that part of yourself and, you know, let the crabs be crabs about it? Let the crabs be crabby. Six of Cups also tells you to be more childlike, to let go again of some of your own prejudices and your own ideas of what doing it right looks like, because you know how kids' brains are so spongy and they can learn languages and they can learn skills and they can do all kinds of things that we think that adults later on can't because our brains are all dry and fucking firmed up and shit. The secret is you could still have that child mind, but you have to embrace that. You have to be willing to experience all the things a child experiences, which are like the fucking enforced humility of other people not understanding you. But you don't have to be reflexively humble. You just have to accept, yeah, I don't know everything. I'm not trying to be perfect. I'm not trying to be the best. If I'm trying to be perfect and trying to be the best, that feels like this. Now, if I'm just trying to be me, and I'm just trying to show up and do what feels good and what comes naturally to me, not me getting demonetized by fucking YouTube for having a thick ass Six of Cups. What do you think, Virgo? How does this sit on you? What does it bring up for you? Is there something that you've been wanting to carry a long way and you were trying to find the courage to overcome the lip of that bucket, your inner bucket? I hope this is helpful in helping you do that, Virgo, because goodness, I know many Virgo people with wonderful gifts that could change and heal and set right the world. So please, here's a personal ask and invitation from me to please, yes, trust yourself, step into yourself, be the you, the youest you that you can be. We need you. Okay, Virgo. Let me know what you think.